I guess I'm gonna have to call you daddy now. And I was like, what are you trying to say, honey? What are you trying to say? She's like, we're pregnant, babe. Oh, I almost wrecked my car. I was so happy.
Yeah.
She hit you, didn't she?
She beats me. Anybody knows Julia knows she's a scrapper.
I regret not eating the placenta. And what I typed in the notes was the pancreas. Because when it first, I was like, I regret not eating that pancreas. And I was like, wait, that's not the word for it. Have you ever had breast milk?
No.
I want to try it.
I mean, now's the time.
Duh, but like, you ready? Let's get it. Absolutely not. Oh boy. Welcome back, folks, to another.
I failed.
Let me live my life. Welcome back, folks, to another episode of That's How You Feel. I'm excited to be here. As always, I am your host, and I'm the only host here today. My name's Caleb.
I will fight you.
I'm joined here by my co-host.
My name's Levi.
Got a hot episode planned this week for you guys. Hot episode.
We're talking about fatherhood.
Fatherhood. First of all, this is a silly question to ask. How was your day? How was your day, man? How was your week?
My week's been great. I just got back from LA.
Actually, no, you would. Okay.
I'm kidding,
so
no.
little fun fact. We shoot these episodes kind of together. We shoot a couple episodes together, so we have, time to edit and put things out. By the time this one comes out, you'd have been back from LA for a while.
Yeah.
But we're actually filming this before you go to LA.
No, my day was actually good. So I had a great day at work. I had a couple admits.
How was LA though, man?
LA was great, man.
What was your favorite thing?
My favorite thing, just being there with my wife.
Oh.
No kids. Disneyland was sir. We're going to this restaurant, sir. Have you ever?
No, I've never even heard of it.
We talked about reality shows last episode.
We did.
So it's trash reality, but it's Vanderpump Rules. Have you ever heard of it?
I've heard of it, never seen it.
Okay, so I got hooked on it a long time ago. A bunch of people, peer pressure.
Mm-hmm.
And then my wife started watching it, and we're sucked in. And it's
you watch it too? Ugh.
Yeah, she does. It's good. It's good drama.
I like her a little bit less now that she watches that. Like just a little bit less now.
Man, she's the best part of me. But
she is. But to know that she watches that now.
Quit talking. Like, nah. The restaurant that show's based around is Sir, and it's in LA in West Hollywood. So we're going there.
Or you went there because this is an old episode now.
Yeah, I went there, and the fried goat cheese balls were actually good. Which I can say that because I had those in Vegas.
Okay. Good for you.
Anyways.
Question of the day. Or do you got something else you want to talk about?
Yeah. Do you know what the question of the day is?
Yeah. What's your favorite Girl Scout cookie?
Easy. Lemonades. But pop them in the freezer.
Okay. There you go. I don't know what they're called. They're just like the peanut butter ones that are covered in chocolate.
Peanut butter patties.
If that's what they're called.
I think they have another name, but they're peanut butter patties.
I actually got, okay.
Or
so
that
was a quick question. I got another question for you. How many Krispy Kreme donuts do you think you could eat before it was like a problem?
I don't like Krispy Kreme.
Okay, what donut do you like?
Lamar's.
Oh, okay, fine. Lamar's are like, there's a real division between Krispy Kreme versus Lamar's. I think isn't Lamar's like only like local to like KC? There's it's not like nationwide. Anyway,
no.
Okay, fine. So Lamar's donuts. How many Lamar's donuts could you eat just without let's just forget about like the moral embarrassment, like the shame of like people knowing you ate this many. How many could you eat if nobody ever knew about it?
So to be honest,
mm-hmm.
I'm not a huge donut person.
Mm-hmm.
I will say I could throw down some Lamar's glazed donuts.
Right. How many could you eat before like you were like, I need to stop?
And it's not a competition because if it's a competition, I can eat as many as I want.
Okay, if it's a competition.
I'm winning.
How many could you eat before you had to like chill out?
Gosh, it's gonna make me sound fat. I don't know, 6? No, that's way too many. I don't know.
Before you were like, I'm full. I need to not eat another donut.
3.
That's cute.
5, 4. What about you? I don't know.
Solid dozen.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's no shame.
Like without any like the societal like looking at me, like without like someone judging me. 12 without. I wouldn't even break a sweat. I would feel terrible after, but I would. Yeah. 12.
What is your favorite donut place?
Any of them? I don't care.
There's a difference.
I'm a fat kid at
Krispy
heart.
Kreme has those like
They're so good.
If they're fresh, they're good. But Lamar's has those like yeast donuts, the one that's got that line. It's nice, big and fluffy.
Yeah. I've never bitten into a bad donut. I've never been like, oh, this is nasty. No, every donut is good everywhere.
You know,
like left out donuts are good.
Casey's donuts ain't bad.
Actually, Casey's donuts are bad. I take it back. But
is it because they're cake donuts?
I love a cake donut. But what I'm saying is Casey's is like the bottom tier donut. Like bottom tier. Like Quick Trip is whew.
See, and I'm not big on Quick Trip. Casey's is nostalgia for me because as a kid, I would always get
Quick
Casey's
Trip's
donuts.
Chocolate covered donut. Like it's like a glaze without the glaze, but it's got like dipped in chocolate. Boy. Oh man, those are
it's
so
right.
good.
Also, Dunkin's way overrated.
Dunkin' coffee is trash.
Oh yeah, I agree.
I go there sometimes. I didn't know you're doing that. I'll go to I go to Dunkin' like it's like the little cousin that your mom said take with you. Like all right, let me go to Dunkin'.
Yeah,
let me give them a shot. I've never been like happy I went.
No.
I'm like, why?
Even if it's like a sweet drink that they like think looks good,
they don't know what they're doing over there. Like the people there are like it's their first day.
But there's a lot of people that love Dunkin'.
I know some Dunkin' stands, and I'm just like, bro, did I say that word right? Stands, like a fan, like I stand on Dunk. Maybe not.
I have never heard
Let's
that.
Let's get into the topic. All
this
right.
is how I know I'm getting old.
Yeah, you are. I'm out here whipping and nailing it. Never mind. Hey, like, comment, and subscribe. As always, you know what? Also, for those of you that have already done that, thank you. We are seeing your comments. I meant to like read off some of my favorites. Abby Stark said our podcast was lame, but that she would also be checking back in. So cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the only one that I can think of right now. There's a lot of people that have commented the feedback so far. Like I said, we shot a bunch of these. So right now, the first episode is out and we're shooting, was this episode 6 right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is episode 6. So we're either ahead or behind on the comments. We're behind. So still, I know we're like 6 episodes in, but I do want to say thank you.
And we started to have a little bit of a stretch, but I mean, there'll be a time where we're just a few episodes behind. So
to those of you that already commented for episodes 1 through 5, thank you so much for that. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the reviews.
Also, we've gotten some reviews on, I've noticed, Apple and Spotify.
Cool.
So
I haven't seen those.
They're all 5 stars.
Tight.
Yeah.
I haven't seen them.
Caleb really wants to be famous, y'all. So
I do.
Trying to help him get there. I don't know if I'm much help, but
yep. So let's get into the topic.
So we're talking about fatherhood today. So
fatherhood.
Yes, because you're a new father.
New dad. Well,
he's 4 months old.
He's 4 months old as of like a couple days ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's 4 months old.
He's so cute.
He's big, dude.
You know, I love when I come over like the other day and you're like, here, go to Uncle Levi, and I could just keep him calm.
Bro, don't be afraid to ask to hold my kid. Like, if you see me and my child, you can come get him. Like, you can come get him right now. Like,
do you ever feel like though when someone's holding your kid, like you have to take him back because it's a burden to them? Do you ever? Okay.
No, you hold them for as long as you want. Well, okay. Yeah, actually I do now. Like, cause I feel like they're holding them too long. It's not like, give me back my kid. It's not that. Yeah. It's like, you can give me my kid back. I know you, cause but truthfully, I feel like a lot of people just want to get that like a hug, like, oh, okay, take him back now. But to my friends that actually do love to hold my kid, like, I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you for everybody that's been there for my child and your children. Like, you know, for holding, bro, I'm tired of holding my son. Like,
I think you just gave out a praise.
I did.
Man,
bro, man, I did.
Mark this down in your calendar.
You for y'all that are holding my son, I appreciate it so much. I can't wait to give them up. Like not like give them up, like get rid of them.
No,
What
I
I'm
get
saying
it.
is,
To
like,
get a break.
when people see myself, oh, let me hold him. I'm like, yeah, come, hurry up, like come get him. Like I'm tired of holding him. He's heavy. He's dense.
The reason why I asked that is because I like whenever I had babies too, same thing. It felt the same. Like I love when people would hold them, but I also like if they were holding too long, I'm like, oh, they're probably annoyed, and so I'd like try to get them back. And
I'll leave the room.
I should, yeah, I didn't do that. So, want to start off a little bit of journey to having kids. So, I have 2 kids.
Yes, you do.
You have one.
One kid.
So I have a daughter that's 3.5.
You didn't hear me what I said. One on the way, but I was just playing.
I paused because I was like, wait, what?
Nah. There's no announcement. I'm messing with you. We plan to have another one, but
yeah,
not right now.
No, we're done with 2.
Hey.
But we have a 3.5-year-old daughter and a 1.5-year-old son.
Mm-hmm.
And you have?
I have a son.
4-month-old son. Yeah.
4-month-old son.
Yeah. So what? When you and your wife got married, like when did kids become in the discussion?
It was a discussion before we got married.
Like what? Like timeline wise?
So yeah. So it was while we were even dating. I was just like, just so you know, I want kids. But we had this, like, I had basically told this to her, like, when we established that we were a serious couple, like, hey, we're like, I mean, that was already established before we even started. Hey, I'm dating to be serious. Like, you know, I'm not dating for fun out here. But like early on in the relationship, I was like, hey, just so you know, I want kids. And she was like, great, I want kids too. Cool. So we get married, and I think we had the conversation, but she had said, hey, I want to be married for at least, I think the word was 6 months. I think she said either it was 6 months or a year and 6 months. Sure. So I think it was 6 months or a year and 6 months, but she just wanted to let's just be married. Let's just enjoy ourselves. Yeah. It might've been a year. I don't know. She gave a time frame of how long she wanted to just be married before we actually started to like try to have kids. Yeah. So whatever that time frame was came and went. She was on birth control. She got the little thing in her arm. She got that taken out. After that time, whatever that time frame was, she got that taken out. And so, yeah. And then after that, we started to try to have kids. We started, what's the best way to say it?
You practiced a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. We
people know how kids are made.
Sure. Yeah. We practiced a lot. So, I mean, do you want me to tell like the whole story?
It doesn't matter. You can now, or yeah, we do. Okay. So I'm gonna try to keep it as short as possible.
So I don't even, honestly, this is so sad because I don't know the length of time, but from the implant being removed to actually like our son, there was, I want to say like almost a year and a half of us just trying to just get pregnant the old fashioned way and then like, I think a year had passed in that where she started looking at advice from her friends. Oh, check your temperature this day, or, is there a full moon today? Like, and then she started like using like an app to like track like ovulation, all that stuff, just to kind of see her cycle and just see, hey, these are going to be the best days. We did that for, I think, almost a year and a half to 2 years. From there, we were like, something's going on. Like there's something that's just not, because this is like the silly thing is that like you think, because you're told this, at least for me growing up in the church, you're told if you have sex, you're going to get pregnant. And so I was expecting to get pregnant day one of this implant being out. And then they were like, oh no, it takes like 60 days for that to wear off. And I'm like, okay, bet. So like literally the next month or the next 2 months come in, I'm thinking, boom, like we're going to have a kid here. And so literally like every month was like, are we having a kid? Are we having a kid? And she's like, no, I got my period. And I'm like, bummer. So that became the norm, just to get excited around the cycle and then like get let down and then get excited and then get let down. And it was tough, but like you just, that became the norm of just trying that and just being really hopeful, just because, you know, her birth control, you don't know how long it's in her system. So, you know, you really didn't get discouraged until like a year in where it's like, again, huh? Oh, I thought we'd have one by the end of this year. Or I thought we'd have one by my birthday. I thought we'd be pregnant by this holiday. And it starts to just drag out. And so then we started doing like the apps and stuff like that, like I said. I think it was almost like literally like 2 years in where we were like, let's talk to somebody. So
So did you go see like a doctor
so luckily I don't know how we found out, but my job had some insurance that was like very specific to like infertility. So we go, she sets it all up because she's just smart like that to just do stuff like that. And so she sets it all up, talks to this person over the phone. And he's like, hey, let's just tell me about the journey. So we explained all of what we just did. And they're like, okay, let's bring Emily in to test literally everything under the sun. So she goes back and forth to these tests. And this is more just months. And then through this, we're still just practicing, trying to conceive, and nothing's happening. And I couldn't tell. Emily could tell you a lot better than I could, but about how long she had to just go through these blood works, these tests, because a lot of it's like, hurry up and wait. Okay, hurry up.
Mm-hmm.
You got like 4 days before your cycle to get this test done. Okay, you got 2 days after your cycle to get this test done. So it's a lot. I mean, so many tests over the course of just months.
Yeah.
And what was kind of interesting was like all her tests kept coming back like normal. And so we're just like, what's the matter? And then after her test came back normal, the doctor's like, let's take a look at Caleb. Let's get him in for some tests. And so I go in for some tests. They're like, okay, your blood work looks great. You have your testosterone's a little bit low. And I was like, that's why I can't put on muscle. like an idiot. So they're like, okay. So then they're like, hey, we want you to come in and give a semen sample. And I was like, okay, fine. So that comes back and they're like, bro, it's you. And I was devastated because as a man, I felt like I should be able to do this. And it was what was the word? Cryptospermia was the word, which was basically like you have a low count.
Yeah.
And so how they explained it is that in one drop, there should be like millions of these things. And the doctor said in your entire sample, you had 5 moving. And he's like, out of that 5, he said you had like 5. And out of that 5, like 3 were moving. And I was like, oh, wow. So I came home and I was like, honey, I'm sorry. It's me. And it crushed me because it's something that I've always wanted. I've always wanted to be a dad. And then again, obviously I'm like, what did I do to deserve this? Like God's punishing me. This is what I felt. And then, I felt like a failure to my spouse because I'm like, I can't give you a kid. So, there's these things that just hit me from both sides. So they were like, the good thing is that your blood work shows that you should be able to produce this. And I'm like, well, okay. And he says, but your sample said you didn't. So there's a disconnect somewhere. We don't know. We might look at surgery, going in and getting it ourselves and then bringing it out. And I was like, let's do that. And then so we couldn't do, there's IVF and then there's another F one. It's like IVF or EVF or EMF.
Yeah.
One of the
I don't
two.
know what it is, but
The slang for the other one is like known as the turkey baster method.
Yeah, that's right.
I forget what it's called, but I don't know the technical name, but it's like the turkey baster. So they said that option is out. Our only option is IVF. So we agree to that, which is fine. So yeah, so the day of we get it scheduled out because they said your count's low, whatever. She goes on hormones to produce more eggs. So they're going to do a big egg retrieval from her. They're going to take my sample. They're going to make some babies with that. I go in for mine and, they're like, they had me give one more sample before my surgery.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, we just want you to come in and give one more sample. And then you'll have your surgery scheduled the next day. I'm like, okay, fine. So I go in for my surgery the next day. Em comes with me because her egg retrieval is the next, like literally like the next hour. I go in and they say, hey, what are you doing here? I'm like, what are you talking about? She was like, your surgery got canceled. I was like, that's news to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're like, no, your sample came back great. I was like, no, it didn't. That's why I'm here for the surgery. They're like, oh, no, your sample came back great. You don't need to have the procedure. I was like, what are you talking about? She's like, oh, you had like 25 million in your sample. I was like, no, what are you talking about? She's like, wait, what's your name again? And I'm like, Caleb. What's your date of birth? And I gave her, and she's like, yeah, this is you. You're good. Yeah, you don't need to come in. This is your sample. Look, there's your number. They circled it. You're good to go. And so I walk out back into the lobby where Emily is sitting there waiting. She looks up and she's like, what's going on? I'm like, they don't need to do my surgery. She's like, what happened? And I'm like, my sample came back great. She's like, I want to talk to the doctor.
Well, so no one called you at that point? Like,
no. They said someone was supposed to call you last night and say you didn't have to come in, but nobody called us. So we woke up at like 5 a.m. for this 6 a.m. surgery. So she goes back to the doctor because M wants to hear it from her. And yeah. So she's like, hey, no, he's good. You still have your egg retrieval here. Everything's going to be just fine. And I'm like, okay, something's going on here. Okay, maybe this is a good sign. So we did the egg retrieval. The fertilization process went great. They took like 17 eggs, which is like a ton. They successfully fertilized like, I think 12 or 9. Not 7 made it to like a great stage to be tested, like for genetically imbalances or whatever. And then we had like 5. And so we had 5 great eggs. They were like, hey, these are going to be great for potential humans, but whatever. We took one, transferred it in as soon as we could, and then it didn't work. And then now we're like really devastated because we're like, bro, like we did the right stuff, but like, hey, you still got 4 more eggs. So I'm like, all right. And so then it's more like hurry up and wait.
Which at that point you're probably already expecting defeat.
Yeah, because
but hopeful, but
the chances of that is 66%. So I'm like, that's good. So the first one doesn't work, and we're like, okay, do the chances increase? And the doctor's like, no, it's still 66%. I'm just like, okay. So we do another one, and she has to go get tested. Like, so there's the transfer, and then there's 14 days after the transfer. She goes in and gets blood work to like confirm the pregnancy test. And so I was driving home from work, and she called me, and I was like, hey, what's up? Cause I'm, she's like, hey, daddy. And I was like, what's up? What's going on? She's like, I guess I'm gonna have to call you daddy now. And I was like, what are you trying to say, honey? What are you trying to say? She's like, we're pregnant, babe. I almost wrecked my car. I was so happy. Yeah. I don't think I cried, but I was ecstatic about just getting the news that we're gonna, expect a child. But as excited as I was about it, fear comes in, like, because again, you could miscarry. There's so many things that can go wrong in that, first trimester. And now that he's here, I'm still terrified. Like, there's no happiness in this.
It never goes
There's
away.
no happiness. There's moments of like little joy, but like I'm just like, you could die any second. Yeah. I mean, thinking about that, like when my kid sleeps, he's like a real peaceful sleeper sometimes. But like if he's getting that good sleep, he's snoring like his mom. It's hilarious. And
you just put her on blast like that,
bro. My kid snores. His mom snores too.
So I will.
That's the story of
and I will say,
journey.
I walked through that journey with you, kind of.
You did,
seeing you in those steps, and obviously I hadn't been in those shoes before, but like I hurt for you, and I have other friends as well, and I hurt, and so I can remember seeing your devastation, and honestly, you're rightfully so. You started to get more and more down just about everything in general.
Yeah, man. I got a friend of mine who they had one of my good friends. They've been trying to get pregnant. She's been able to get pregnant, but then they have miscarriages. And I'm just like, it breaks my heart to hear that. And so they are having to go, they've gone through the IVF process, like the same thing me and my wife did. I just said my wife had 17 eggs. She got 1. And they're expecting their daughter out of that 1 egg. Like, so, and it's been crazy. Cause like now he's like one of my good friends, he's very excited about it. And like the entire time he's calling me like, and I'm literally like kind of talking him through each stage of like the testing process and just this waiting game. And he's like, how many eggs did you guys get? And I was like, we got 17. How many did you guys get? He's like, we got 1. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Because even then the fertilization may not work. The blastaceous period, that 5-day germination period may not work. And then the transfer may not work. And he got 1 and it worked, and he's expecting his kid in May. So like I'm That's excited awesome. For him, but like, bro, it's the journey that they have to go through, like it's tough.
Yeah. No, I can't imagine. I said, I've walked you've walked
I can't. Yeah. But like it's just it's still like to go through that again, like it's so tough.
But we talked about the first episode how there's things in this podcast so we both can, like, some things you've dealt with in life that I haven't, and vice versa.
Yeah.
And this is one where like I can try to empathize, and I do empathize, not try to, but I think it's until you've been in those shoes, you don't know the full story. Just like anything.
True.
Walk a mile in shoes, and even walking next to you through that journey, you and your wife. And my other friends that are going through the same thing, it's just constant heartbreak for them, and you don't even have words sometimes.
Do you ever, like, with your 2 kids, and like you have friends that are trying to conceive and trying to get pregnant, do you ever feel guilty about being a parent? I do.
So,
like I feel okay. Maybe guilty's not the right word, but I feel some type of way.
Yeah, I feel a way.
Like
I don't know what to put to it. I wouldn't say so. Like, I've had a friend who's gone through IVF, and her biggest thing was always, why are there so many parents out here who are terrible parents that can have kids, and I want one so bad, and I can't have one.
Yeah. Man, I had a friend like that.
That's what I kind of.
Oh yeah, it would break me and my wife's heart to each month not conceive, and then to hear like friends, hey, we're pregnant, and I really am happy for them. I'm like, great, were y'all trying? They're like, nope, weren't even trying. I'm like, it's not fair.
Yeah.
Or like you said, like people that maybe like not good mothers or like bad parents, and it's like, my turn. Like, you hear me, Lord. Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret. Like,
yeah. No, you lose the understanding, and it's when you're in those periods. I always biggest phrase I'll ever say is in the waiting period is always the hardest thing to be in any situation.
Yeah.
You good?
I'm good. I want to. I like playing with the microphone.
Okay.
I fidget.
Okay, but and obviously there may be. You're going to be able to testify, give testimony to others,
hopefully,
and be able to share your story in that journey. And I'm excited for you in that, but also I hate that you had to go through that, and that, my other friends go through that who are still trying. Yeah, I'm very happy that you have your son, because I will say, I already said it before, watching you become a parent has been great.
It's dope. Dad life is the best life.
Yeah. So what is different? Well,
I'm waiting. I'm here.
I'm going to flip the script real quick.
Sure.
So, because that way we can answer some questions. So for me and my wife, timeline wise.
Yeah. Tell me about your time. I don't have my notes. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. That was my bad. But I also didn't want to be like, back to me. It's all,
No, it should be.
No, because I think I'm glad you shared that story. And I think we'll be able to get more into your IVF through that.
Thanks for joining in, folks. This has been another great episode.
No, but so when we got married, like, we had already same.
Oh yeah. How long did you guys want to wait before you actually had kids?
So I think initially we wanted to wait like a year or two.
Just enjoy being married, man.
I have always wanted to be a father.
Yeah. Wait. Like when you say always, what do you mean by that? Like, when did you know you wanted to be a dad?
When I didn't have one.
So from like 6.
No. That sounded really dark.
It did, man.
No.
Ever since my daddy left.
I mean, I've always helped raise my cousins. So, my cousins lost their dad. He was murdered. But when they were, being born, and being born. When they were born, I would come help watch with my nanny, and I kind of helped raise a lot of the younger kids in my family. I've always just loved kids, and I just could not wait to be a dad. Like, it's always been number one thing. Part of it was also like breaking the generational cycle that my dad, because, but we initially were gonna wait like, I think 1 or 2 years. Was it about 1 or 2 years? And we had already talked about, like, we had names picked out and everything. It was like, was it 6 months in? And we just started talking. We're like, I think we're ready to, like, I'm good with whenever. And so then we ended up eventually getting pregnant.
Yeah, I remember when y'all announced it. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, some people were shocked, but we were just in a point where we were ready. It was funny. So my wife wanted to, like, whenever we got pregnant, tell me in such a surprising way where I'd be shocked or I'd cry or whatever. And so we were actually fighting the day she found out. Like, bickering, not fighting. We were like in
no, tell her how it is. Y'all were fighting.
I was annoyed at her.
She hit you, didn't she?
She beats me. Anybody who knows Julia knows she's a scrapper. Thug life. No, and I remember we were going over to our friend's house, and I was like, hey, I'll meet you at our friend's house. And she's like, no, I need you to come home. I have something for you. So she was out at the store, and when I got home, and I was like, when she said that, I was thinking, okay, maybe she's got like pregnancy tests. So I went to where our pregnancy test drawer was. And I call it that drawer because it had the pregnancy test. It was like a junk drawer in the bathroom. And they were all gone. And I was like, okay, I think this is, I looked in the trash can, saw the labels, and then she had this box for me. And so I had kind of already figured it out by that point. But she had this cute little box wrapped up. Now with the second one, she got me good. Because at this point, she had gotten birth control in between, and then we eventually decided to take birth control out, have a second kid. And she...
Hold on, before you get to child number 2, did the fight end when Julia told you y'all were expecting?
Yeah.
Like, it ended like right then, like, okay, fight's over. Or was there some stuff she still wanted to get off her chest?
It was more me annoyed at her. She was excited that day, and I was probably being a jerk. I don't know. I don't remember that. I just remember we were bickering. But with the second one, we had, just decided whenever. And then it was, one year we said, hey, let's give one gift early for Christmas. And so I gave her something, and then she gives me this box. I open it up, and it was the pregnancy test. And let me tell you, that's the reaction she wanted. I wept. I bawled.
You cried?
I did. I was so excited. Yeah.
You know what? Why I hate my life or hate myself sometimes. I want to be able to, like, give the emotional reaction that certain situations are due, and I can't do it. Like, on my wedding day, I wanted to cry because I felt like I owed it to Emily to cry. Like, because there's people, like, when they walk down the aisle, one of my good friends, when his wife walked down the aisle, he was, flowing. And I'm like, I wanted to be able to do that.
Yeah.
So and then, like, when she told me that I was gonna be a dad, I wanted to cry, but I was granted, I was happy, but I wanted to give more than my body was, like, willing to give.
I got a solution for you.
What?
I recently talked to this guy, and he did this, like, sound thing.
Are you talking about Chris? You're so dumb.
But for real though, like, maybe there's some, so I will tell you, for me, I was telling someone today, I think it has been years since I've been able to really, I feel like, let out a good cry.
Oh, I don't think I've ever had a good cry.
I wouldn't say years, because my brother passed. No.
I can probably count on my hand, like one hand, the number of times I cried.
I just don't feel like I used to, like, I think I mentioned it in the episodes with Chris. Like, I used to be a very sensitive person and cried a lot. And it takes a lot for me to cry anymore. And a lot of that is because of the walls that built up. Yeah. Okay. But I will tell you, like, when Julia walked down the aisle, I was crying. Not like sobbing, but I mean,
I wouldn't know. I had horrible seats to your wedding.
You chose the seats. They weren't assigned.
I had horrible. I got there, like, late.
Well, that's not my fault. You knew the time of the wedding. No, same thing. So did you cry when your son was born?
Oh yeah, man, I did. Gosh, I love that moment. I remember and I was crying that he was born, but I was also crying that I was crying. I was like, I'm crying. This is it. I'm doing it. Like, this is
what it's like.
Yeah, man. Because like the birth of my son, we ain't got time to tell the whole story. But like, so the birth of him, the doctors asked, do you want to tell your wife what we're having? Yes. And I said yes. And she had been in labor for like 2 hours, like 1.5 to 2 hours. And it was just not going anywhere. And like the real doctor came in and was like, all right, let's do this. And then like literally within like 2 minutes, it goes from me and like 2 other folks being in the room to like a team of doctors in here. And that baby's out like this. And so as it's like really coming out, we're like so excited, but like, that's when like the doctors like go to work. They're just like all this. And as he's popping out and they're like, they flop him over really quick. I don't get to see what it is. And someone just shouts, oh, it's a boy. And I'm like, oh, thanks a lot, jerk. But in that moment, like, yeah, I wanted to be able to announce it, but like, I was just so over the moon, overwhelmed with emotion. Like that it was one, cause we felt like it was just taking forever to get here. And then like that like release of like, he's here.
Yeah.
Man, it was kind of funny because like everybody was crying. Like Em was crying. Obviously she's crying. I'm crying. The doctors are crying. I'm like, what are y'all? This is y'all job. Get it together. Show some professionalism. And they were like, we never cry. And I'm like, what's going on? It was like the sun came out and there were doves flying around the room. It was a funny, magical moment because like they're like, this is the 7th kid we've delivered today.
Did they know y'all's journey?
No. And the person that was supposed to know the journey, because we had a doula, midwife. I think it was a midwife. We had a midwife that was what Emily wanted, and all the midwives were like out that day.
That's right.
So we had like a regular doctor. Like no shade to like real doctors or real doctors. I'm an idiot.
No, I know what you mean.
We're supposed to have a midwife.
You didn't have a midwife yet.
So the midwife knew the journey, but the people that were there were just like, this is a regular birth. But let's go on to another question.
Well, and I was going to say props to you because I do not have patience and I could not wait to find out what our kids were. We had a big gender reveal for Brooklyn, which was a girl. That's one of my favorite pictures of me and my wife. Were you there at that?
Bro, I just became your friend like last week.
Yeah, I don't think we were that close then, but we did like these confetti things, and so all the confetti just rained down in front of us, and
I definitely wasn't there for that, but no, we were definitely friends by then. I think I might have been working or something.
Oh yeah, you were at my wedding. Of course we were friends then.
I may have been like doing something because I work a lot.
And then with Boston, I was so impatient. I bought this like early test that you can do at 8 weeks, like where you had I wasn't supposed to be around it. Julia had to do a little prick and get some blood. Because we had a girl and we really wanted a boy this time. And so then I got the results and I can remember we were at church and I pulled up the phone. I just went and looked over at her and she knew instantly. And so, but
y'all are goofy.
We're stopping at two kids. How many kids do you want total? Two. Yeah.
Nah. Like, cause I think like, do I want more? Like if I could afford like 4, what I want 4, nah, I'm cool.
You don't got 4 kid money?
I don't have 1 kid money.
Well, I'll tell so initially we always talked about 2. Mm-hmm. Once we had Brooklyn and once we were pregnant with Boston, we had talked about maybe in a couple years having another. But my wife, after Boston, she had really bad postpartum preeclampsia, which actually ended up her getting hospitalized, and that can be a very fatal thing. And that's not funny, but it was funny. So when I took her blood pressure and I realized we had to go to the hospital, I called my mom because she lived like not too far from us, so she could come watch Boston and Brooklyn. And I'm running around the house trying to get everything. And my mom gets there and I was like, I'm just trying to make sure Julia stays calm. And she said, Julia's calm. You're at a 10. I was so worried about her. And I'm just like, I was probably making her more anxious. But after that, we decided like it was probably best not to try again just for that's the sake of her. But
no, I get it.
What is your favorite part about being a parent?
Looking at him. like literally like just looking at him. Like he is it helps that my son is darlingly handsome, but like
he's pretty cute.
Literally just like what was the question?
Your favorite part about being a parent? I thought you were going to say when he looks at you and smiles.
Oh yeah, that's the one. Oh my gosh!
I'm just going to answer your questions for you.
I forgot all about it. Like it's such a wild. It's so cool when he's with his mom and he's crying and throwing a fit or just not really feeling her. And I walk in the room and he sees me because he's got no teeth and he's just.
Mm-hmm.
Like he gets oh man, yeah, it kills me. But also like just looking at him, like when he's just like, because now like he's only 4 months, but now we're getting to that thing where like we can kind of play, like where like I'll play with his hands or legs, and he's like he's starting like he
interact a little bit.
He's knowing a little bit what's going on, and like I can make him smile a little bit. Oh, but man, when he looks at me and smiles, I truly could die. I could.
Yeah,
gets me every time. What about you?
So mine is so my favorite thing is when with Brooklyn right now, she did this at church Sunday, is when like she'll be on the other side of the room and she'll see me and she'll just get the biggest smile on her face and just run, Daddy, you know, and run into your arms. Like I always couldn't wait for that. But like also like it's just like when they look at you with love, or like Brooklyn, she'll come up and she'll just be, I love you, and give me a big hug around the neck. And it's just, I just love it. And Boston, he's so cute. You had asked a question earlier about like feeling guilty about having kids. So with Brooklyn, when we got pregnant, we had some other friends get pregnant, and then some other friends who are still trying, and they've looked at IVF and stuff like that. So it was a very hard thing because yes, we were very excited. But also our heart hurt, and we didn't go around just being like, "Oh, we're pregnant," like, you know.
Yeah, I don't even like honestly, like I know I post my son a lot, like, but I still feel some type of way about doing it because I'm just like
it's hard. I feel like it's hard. I know that
there's people hurting because they want kids.
Yeah,
and so it's like, you know, what do you do?
Yeah, so that's what I was gonna say. That like I definitely like felt the excitement. We're super excited for us, but also like we still hold hurt for the, you know, the others. The next question is how would you describe your parenting style? I mean, you got 4 months.
I don't have a parenting style right now.
What do you think? What do you envision?
I will say I don't feel like I'm a good dad right now. Here's why. Don't get me wrong. Like he's 4 months old. What you were supposed to be doing tummy time with him. I don't really do it a lot. I don't do it a lot with him.
We didn't either.
I know I'm supposed to. I don't. I do it like maybe like for like 5 seconds.
Does he like tummy time?
No.
Yeah, neither did my kids.
But you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to ignore the cry. I don't like seeing him cry. We did the same thing. Like Em will get home from work and she's like, "Hey, did you do tummy time?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
It was real good.
I'd be like, how long did you do it? Oh, a couple minutes. And like, I may have put him on his stomach like one time for like a minute. Like the second he just, then I'm like, all right, come here. I'm sorry. Let's get you some milk. Then there's another thing. Like I'm spoiling him rotten. Like literally today, I had him and I let that boy sleep all day. And I'm pretty sure he's going to have a rough night tonight, like where he's not going to sleep a lot. Because I just want him to sleep and be cool and be calm. Like as soon as he wakes up,
you can play your Fortnite?
Yeah, I'm not going to lie about it. Yeah, like as soon as he wakes up, I pop a bottle right in his mouth and he'll drink that and then go right back to sleep. And so like, I mean, we're up. He plays for like 15 minutes. I'm like, all right, let's get you to bed again. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. Daddy wants to play another round of Fortnite. I'm real bad about it. So, what's my parenting style like? Irresponsible.
When you're a new parent in that period, you're tired, and you are so excited for those breaks when they can sleep.
I actually want to ask you a question, not like about your parenting style, but what is it that you think that you'll do differently than your parents did? Because this is not like now they are now, because they're still like sponges right now.
Yeah.
But like when they get to be like 7, 8, 9, 10, like when they actually develop like consciousness, personality, all that stuff, like how will you parent different than how you were parented?
So I've talked some. So there's twofold question. The biggest thing is being there. So I've already kind of mentioned this. My biological father like hasn't been a huge part of my life. So this past birthday, my wife, or no, it was my 30th birthday. My wife had like all my friends and family write letters, and she put this book together for me.
Right.
And lots of them made me like close to tear up, but there was one that I remember vividly like crying at, and it was my sister Megan, who's on my dad's side. And she said essentially how proud she was because I had broken the generational curse and how good of a dad I was. And that is my biggest goal. Is to bring respect, not respect, but back to the McCall name, and just really always let them know that they're loved, they're seen, they're heard. I want them to know their feelings are valid, but I also want them to know I'm always there to protect them. I'm never going to leave them. I'm never going to leave their side. That's my biggest goal.
That's what's up. That's dope.
What about you though?
What was the question?
You're not going to force a boy band on him?
God, no. What was it? How am I going to parent?
How will you raise your kids differently?
With love, man.
Yeah.
No, that's messed up. It's hard to think like, but like, kind of like what you said, like, I want to be present. Like, I just want to be, I
need you to take this.
Okay. I just want to be a present dad. Like, my father was there, my mother was there, but it's sad, but I just don't remember them being like there for like moments where I feel like they should have been there for. Like,
yeah.
Meaning I feel like my father was only around if I got out of line. Like, if it wasn't like band stuff, he wasn't really around. Like, if I, did what I was supposed to do in school as far as academics went, he wasn't really around. Like, if I got like a detention or like bad grades, that's when I remember him like being there. So like, as long as I was doing what I was supposed to be doing, like, he didn't like walk in my room and like, hey, what's going on? How are you? Like, who, tell me about your friends. Like, what's your favorite color? I just don't remember like kind of like those conversations with my dad. Or like from my mom, like, cause when my parents split when I was 10, she was gone. Like, she, I saw her on weekends. So, she wasn't really around for that. And then when I went to go see her on the weekends, it was like, there still really wasn't that kind of like relationship that was there. That's not to say that they did terrible jobs. Like, I turned out great, but no, like, I want to try to like not be my kid's friend, but I definitely want to like know. I want them to know my dad was here. Like, he was around. It's like
okay
for like
want to be
everything.
their friend too.
Yeah,
at one point you're going to be that like uncool dad.
Nah, man, I already know M's going to be the lame parent. I'm going to be the fun dad.
I will say one other thing that me and my wife have always talked about is, and this is something kind of for me, like that I would want to do differently, is we never want to fight in front of our kids. So if like we have a disagreement or something, our kids don't need to know about it. Where they feel like they have to take sides or anything. Like, I
disagree.
That's okay if you disagree. That's how you feel.
Yeah.
But we, like, I grew up in my mom and dad's relationship obviously was not the best. And I heard all their fights, like everything. And I don't regret any of it. I mean, obviously, I wouldn't change it, but for my kids, I don't want them to see a division between us. I want them to see a united front.
I get that. Here's why I disagree. I think it's great that if kids don't see their parents fight. I don't need this, by the way.
Well, there's that line on there.
I'm not doing that. I think it's great if kids don't see their parents fight, but I want. It's not to say I want my kids to see me and Emily fight. I want them to see us have conflict resolution. Like, I think, I think it's so like, if we have a disagreement, I don't want them to like see the disagreement, but not see the reconciliation, and vice versa. Like, if we have a disagreement or something like that, and they happen to catch wind of it. I want them to see the reconciliation. I want them to see how
I get that,
how parents solve problems. Because my parents, when they fought, it always became a shouting match, and it always ended with my mom like walking out of the room, like I don't care, and then just like slamming a door or whatever. And then Emily, she was like, I don't ever remember my parents fought. Like they bicker. That
was Julia.
She never like saw them like make up. And I was just like, oh, like, that's not weird. It's just like, yeah, my parents never made up either. But I think it's kind of interesting because like how it translates now. Because like Emily and we kind of fight weird where I want to like kind of like hash it out there. And she's just like, well, let's just not talk about it. So like it translates over. So I want, if we fight in front of our kids, I don't mind that. But if we do fight in front of them, I want them to see us like make up like in front of them too. Like I want them to see us like, you know, resolve and like, let's find compromise and middle ground, stuff like that.
I get that.
That's why I disagree with you.
No, and I understand that. Like if we have a disagreement in front of them, our goal is just, obviously you can't hide everything.
Sure.
I mean, as they get older, you know, they're going to catch on more things, but same boat as you as with shouting matches, you know, between the parents and
you just let them know that if Julia hits you, you deserved it. Like just say, hey, daddy was out of line. That's why your mom hit me.
That's why I got a black eye every other week. You're not going to talk about it because you said that's why I handed you the phone, but I thought it was hilarious.
The fatherhood bit?
No.
What are you talking about?
What you regret.
Oh, the pancreas thing. Oh, yeah. So I regret not eating the placenta. And what I typed in the notes was the pancreas. Because when at first I was like, I regret not eating that pancreas. And I was like, wait, that's not the word for it.
But then Julia screenshotted it to you.
yeah, whatever. Yeah, so I'm dumb. But no, so the placenta, it's kind of weird. It's like crunchy. It's the word like for hippie thing or weird.
Well, dries up, yeah.
I kind of wanted it because I kind of regret not doing it just to see what would have happened, what the benefits are to it. I just kind of wanted to see. Have you ever had breast milk?
No.
I want to try it.
I mean, now's the time.
But like we got it in stock at the house. It's just like, every time I gotta go like get like hers, she's always like, "Hey, bring me that bottle of breast milk." Oh, it's breast milk in there. I'm always like, I don't want to do it, but I want to try it so bad just to see. I just want to see what it tastes like. But it's weird. I don't want to because I don't want to try it and like it.
Could you imagine
stealing my kid's milk, man? I don't want to do that.
Game.
Honey, I had some ounces in here, and I just got a milk mustache going on.
Got milk.
I don't know what's going on, babe.
Gabe's looking over there. He's just gonna be glaring at you,
bro. That's what we got formula for.
Yeah. No, I was never interested in eating the placenta just because that kind of creeps me out.
It does. It creeps me out too, but
they can put it in like pill form.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna like take it like a steak, but I just wanted to,
I think some people do.
I wouldn't have been me. I just wanted to
barbecue it a little bit, put some little.
We're getting off topic. Let's close out this episode, bro.
Weekly segment? That's how you feel. What's your
Did I have a note for it? What it is? What does it say?
Oh, actually, you don't have one today.
I don't.
No.
All right, bet. Because then I want to actually tack back on to what I said up top about the praises and the people. For you folks that have, I know by the time this comes out, my kid will be 5 months probably by then.
No, he'll probably be like 10.
Nah, but hey, to everybody so far that has loved on my son, that has loved on my spouse, that has loved on us as a family, big shout out to you folks that have just been there and just encamped around us and prayed for us. From the bottom of my heart, I appreciate it. You know, it makes me feel loved. And that's hard. That's a feeling that's hard for me to accept and receive. So I just want to say if I haven't told you before, thank you. So that's my praise this week. For
I would
this
say
segment.
It's really nice to hear praise from you.
I don't always got them. So.
No, I don't think you hardly ever got them. I don't always got them. We are getting ready to go to LA, like we talked about. But so I just want to give a shout out to my in-laws who are going to be watching my 2 little kids for a whole week. whole week so we could go celebrate our 5-year anniversary.
That's what's up, bro.
Yours is coming up November.
Ooh, yeah, it is.
Yeah. Anyways, folks, that's been the episode tonight.
Thank you for watching.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Also, let us know what you guys want us to talk about. If there's any topics you want us to touch on, leave them in the comments. Let us know. Shoot us a message. We are open.
And we're out of ideas. Thanks for watching, folks. Have a good night.